And so we see another incident in which a mentally ill student has shot up his school. Now, of course, in Adam Lanzas' case here, he didn't shoot his current school, but nevertheless one of the schools that he attended. And his in the commentary in the newspaper here, Los Angeles Times, it's saying that for the first year at that school, he rode the bus with the other students. When you look at this young boy's picture here, you can see that this young boy is kind of like a wizard. And similar like how Harry Potter character looked like a wizard. So it is partly cognitive brilliance and evil, that characterize and sort of crystallize that sort of persona, that sort of face. And I'm sure that it's a tragedy all around, His mom dead, he's dead, and a whole bunch of other people at the school. But it seems to me that this guy, I want you to look at his mom too, his mom looks as if she isn't too far behind in mental problems. According to the newspapers, she divorced her husband. She did not cite children as the factor, but money. Now, the husband is a big boy in some income tax at one of the big companies up in the Northeast there. And it also concluded that she was struggling financially. So if she cited financial problems when she was with him, and it seems as if there was enough money and etc., now that she's on her own and she might have got a reasonable settlement that she could have lived reasonably on, I'm not sure if continued monies and so forth, I'm sure child support, etc. But how did she come in such a financial strait? Is it that she so immature in her mind that she don't want to live beyond her means and got into some financial difficulties and all these add-on stress and so on? But this young man, I know President Reagan's policies shut down a whole bunch of these mental institutions across the country because some facilities were costing tens of millions. Whereas if we give each individual in there a check for like $1,000 a month, you save millions. So that looked like a good financial move. But on the other hand, it would have protected the community, which in itself now is a big cost. This is an invisible cost, but eventually it's going to add up, and we're going to feel it, as it were. So it might be better if we had continued spending those monies and keep these mental institutions open, make them more secure. Because so many people out in the street today, you might just say something to them, and you have a constitutional right to cut your neck or to shoot you or something like that. And so, I'm just wondering, Adam, and even the victims' early life, it's clear that he might have been born with this syndrome, he had this mental problem. But as usual, did his mom introduce him to Halloween? This is my continuing theme, and folks don't understand this. They don't understand evil in America. And, I'm moving this very cautiously with a sadness on my heart, but I'm trying to deal with facts here, or trying to come to some understanding. Those kids that were killed, and those kids in that class, have they all been trick-or-treating? Do they all believe in Halloween and so on? I know they're too young to pursue individual evil courses, but down the road, from Halloween, they move into magic and Ouija board and astrology and so on, Wicca and all the other forms of evil. But I believe that if you give your child to the Lord at birth and ask Him to protect them and to watch over them, because you see, people are clamoring that gun violence, gun control, yada, yada, yada. But there are other ways of killing too, sword, knife, poisoning. I mean, Jim Jones had the biggest mass murder, I think, in the history of the world, but he didn't use a gun, at least on the majority of folks that died. That was a Kool-Aid routine with cyanide. And so, we got to protect our kids. We have to give them to the Lord. Now, this Adam guy here, I'm sure he started off Halloween trick-or-treating and so on. And, that devil that hooked up with him and got him right there, led him on to other things. Read about Harry Potter, magic, Ouija board, Wicca, and all these evil that pursuing on their own. I mean, parents need to check these children's rooms when they're not there and see what they're reading, see what they have in there and so on. and talk to them about this evil. But then again, if the parents find no problem with it, then it's a hopeless cause. And so the conclusion of this video here is that we got to protect our kids from evil. This is it. This is evil. And people are saying, like, why mentally ill people do heinous crimes like this? Well, it's very easy for a mental ill person to succumb to evil influences because the thoughts are faulty, and the parents would have started them off with Halloween, and it goes gradually. It's not to say, hey, come and kill some people. No, it's gradual. They like watching movies, macabre movies, Chainsaw Kelly, hacking people up and so on. There are a lot of movies that are looking innocent, but the same thing. I see in Canada there was a show called Stimpy, and these two cartoon guys are wrestling, one jumping, next one choking, his tongue come out long, his eye come out long, big, and so on. And that's fun to the kids, but I mean, they're going to do it, and they're going to hurt others, and eventually they're going to lead on and go on and go on and on and practice stuff. I recall when I was teaching the school in Florida, yeah. This guy came and said, "Can we use the lab, the computer here?" I said, "Well, if several of you come in, it's no problem, but I don't just want you alone here." So he got 3 or 4 others, and they went to the computer, and they're having fun. And when he's finished, he raised his hand in victory and said, "Yes." And the guy's kind of like, said, "Man, you're good." When I went to look on the computer, what he was doing, he went to a website where you had a gun and you could shoot people as they show up. And he shot everyone. Okay? And it's a play, but, you get conditioned to it, and then it becomes like, when it really is happening, it's like it was a play. It's kind of, I mean, it's Satan, you live here now, and he's the original murderer. He killed, through Cain, he killed Abel, and so on, and he has found a very way of doing things in a way that when it happens and folks say, "Did I do that?" You were sleeping or something. Well, they do it gradually, guiding the conscience and etc. So again, parents, keep your kids away from evil, give them to the Lord, ask Him to look over them when you're not around or so and so on. Again, this guy, he did not go in through the regular entrance. He shot his way in, shot out the lock of the door, gun the wood and cut it as it were, and then just kicked the door in and gone and did his job. Now, to say to have a sniper on campus, military guy with a assault rifle or whatever with silencers, and cameras, closed circuit cameras, so you could watch everybody. They had to come through this gate here and come in one at a time. You're observing them to see if they have guns. I mean, some people could even give the child to walk with a gun, walk with the child in the classroom, and then open stuff again. So I mean, it's only God could protect us and our kids. See, so parents, be careful. Get your children that life insurance with the Lord. Let Him protect them.